Loki is one of the most popular characters in the MCU, but what is his true origin story in the comics? Join me in day one of our Superhero Pride Month challenge, and let's talk nerdy about the gender-fluid, bisexual God of Mischief, Loki. But before we get into that, go ahead and leave your answer to this question in the comments below. Would you trust Loki with financial advice? Loki made his comic book debut in Journey into Mystery Volume 1, Issue 85, and he was born the son of King Loki of the Frost Giants. Loki was ashamed of Loki's tiny size as a baby. He was like a regular human baby, so he put him in a cupboard somewhere and was just like, if he dies, he dies. But when Odin and his Asgardian army attacked the Frost Giants and defeated them in battle, Odin killed Loki and then found Loki hidden away. So Odin took Loki back to Asgard, made him white, and then raised him as his own son. He did make him white though. But despite being raised as a white Asgardian, Loki never truly fit in with the other Asgardians, and he especially held a grudge against his older brother Thor, who had all the heroic qualities that Loki lacked. And in order to counter Thor's strength and to make something of himself, Loki took up the dark arts of sorcery. This magic allows Loki to fly, he can create force fields, teleport in between dimensions, he can animate objects. So think of all the living furniture in the Beauty and the Beast movie. Loki can do that. He can cast illusions, which is something Thor always falls for. Loki can read your mind and hypnotize you, but his most impressive magic has to be his ability to shapeshift, because he can turn into whatever he wants. And once again, Thor always falls for this. And with all this power, Loki plotted to rule over Asgard, and his love of trickery and being a general annoyance earned him the nickname God of Mischief. But at a certain point, he started doing way too much. He was getting pretty cruel, so his nickname upgraded to God of Evil. And as the God of Evil, Loki would often attack Thor and Earth, which is Thor's adopted home planet. And fun fact, at one point, Loki used his magic to manipulate the Hulk into attacking Thor, and other superheroes responded, like Iron Man, the Wasp, and Ant-Man. So in a way, Loki accidentally created the Avengers. Loki's evil ways would continue for a while after that, but after being killed by the Void, Loki gets reincarnated and decides to make up for all the wrongdoings in his past life. And he saved the world and even the universe a number of times. But Loki is going to Loki, and he often switches back and forth between being a hero and a villain. But we still love him though. But now let's talk about Loki's most notable romantic relationships, because I love love and I want to talk about it. Now in the comic books, Loki is considered to be pansexual, and while he may have had some like flings here and there, he's not really a relationship person, but there were a couple. The first one being Sigyn, I'm not good with Norse names, I'm sorry. But she's the goddess of fertility, and she's actually Loki's wife, but only because Loki tricked her into marrying him. It was not a healthy situation. But they're separated now, so she doesn't have to deal with him. And then you have the giant Angrboda. I hope I said that right. And Angrboda is the mother of Loki's children, Fenris, Big Wolf, and Jormungandr, Big Snake. Me personally, I'd probably trip out if my wife and I were having a baby and a giant wolf and snake came out. I'd still love them, but I would be concerned. Now Loki in the MCU is stated to be bisexual because in the Loki series, he himself states that he has been with both men and women, but only as just like flings. Just like in the comics, he's not really a relationship person. It is implied that Loki had this intimate relationship with Lady Sif before cutting her hair while she was sleeping, so that didn't last long. And then of course the most notable relationship in the MCU with Loki is with his variant Sylvie, which is like, you know, even technically she is her own person, she's still a variant of Loki, so wouldn't it be kind of narcissistic to fall in love with himself? Now let's talk about the answer to the random question, would you trust Loki with financial advice? Now, I'm sure Loki has a vast knowledge of gaining wealth and absolutely has the means of doing so, but if I were to ask Loki for financial advice, like, I would be concerned with what Loki am I gonna get? Is Loki actually gonna help me with my finances, or is he gonna purposely give me wrong information just to mess me up? Or maybe worse, maybe he puts me in a monkey paw situation where I do gain a ton of wealth, but I turn into like a sandwich or something. So I'm gonna have to turn Loki down on the financial advice. But what do you think of Loki? Where does he rank in your favorite superhero character list? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, make sure you hit the like button and you get ready for tomorrow's video on DC's most chaotic character, Harley Quinn. But in the meantime, if you want to watch more videos breaking down superhero content, go ahead and click on the box right here, and I'll see you in a bit.